I encourage landowners to really consider, hiring a forester or a consulting forester, and that it may sound counterintuitive. I'm running a little sales pitch here, but I think it's really true that there's good foresters and there's good consultants, and there's maybe some that's not so good. But generally speaking, I think a forester is very beneficial to a landowner because he's a neutral party and he is a forester, especially when it comes down to managing timber and cutting timber and thinning timber. I see it every day where landowners hire timber companies or loggers to do a thinning operation. Nothing against the logger, nothing against the timber company. There's some great ones out there and they do the best they can. But we as a company really recommend, in 98% of our jobs, we recommend that our foresters mark the sale. So we select the trees to be cut. First of all, back up a little bit. I want to know what the landowner's goals are. That's number one. Number two, when he asked me to look at a particular stand of trees with a goal in mind, I want to advise him what's best for that stand. Never mind what the market is, never mind what price per ton we're getting. Let's look at what that stand needs as a timber stand, whether it needs a thinning now, whether you need to wait, whether it should have been thinned 3 years ago. I want to look at the health of that stand and what the landowner's goals and objectives are, and then I want to make a recommendation. Yes, it's important to me about the price that you get when you sell the timber. It's very important. But it's a little bit secondary because my main interest is that stand of trees and what it needs for the future. It's very important. If you thin it, either under thin it or over thin it, you can't put the trees back, and you can't overcome something that hasn't been thinned properly. Once the tree begins to lose its crown or has lost its crown, then it takes years for it to overcome, if it ever come that. So to me, one of the things that's very important for landowners and maybe new landowners, new and old, is to be sure you have a forester that's managing your trees and advising you, and let that forester work with timber companies to complete the job that you both want to do, especially the landowner wants to do, to that particular stand of trees. And don't let it be managed, and I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes out there, but don't let it be managed by the guy that's cutting the trees. There are great guys out there, the guys that do a great job, but I think as a forester, as a third party coming in, it's very important to do what's best for the trees.